Well, I know.
Just we'll take a look at the town square together and bring pictures
Well, right. Yeah, we got rid of that. Just one thing. You don't need it. We can take all of this and give it to you. It'll just make everybody like that. Because like $15, yeah, I don't want to give it's just not it's there. Right into the list. Yeah, or they're not running around all day because we got 6 things that's okay around the call. One more thing that's around too. That way but again, it's stuff you don't need. No reason to be. So, yeah. Yeah, if you can find that, you can find so it doesn't look as overly, it doesn't look as huge. Organized for them, you know. Take all of that. It's like I was going to see. So how long? Yeah, I know. It's not. Never mind. But yeah, so please help me out. Condense it. So we're gonna take it off. So I think that's yeah, I know exactly. How are you, sir? Good, how are you? Seconds. Yeah. It's a lot to learn with you. Right. Yeah, no. Helps everything.
Nice.
I'm disappointed. We need a bigger building.
Yeah. This is great.
Come on now, Mom. For real.
It's really surrogate. No. But we do get that one.
Unless there's more.
We're not gonna sign these because I will get signatures. But text them. I'm so proud of fixing it.
Oh, yeah. I just made a fresh plan. I'm so glad we're here. I'm so glad.
One minute. Oh. I did not expect
But every time I.
You guys ready? You wanna go? All right, we're gonna call this meeting to order tonight, February 26th at 6 p.m. 2025. Could I have the roll call, please?
Trustee Wary,
Here.
Trustee Williams.
Here.
Trustee Weary.
Here. Could we stand for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty, I'm gonna turn over to the vice chair, the proceedings in front of us here.
Now, first of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming. It's a big deal, and we really appreciate you coming out here. And we have a few special guests here with us today. Lynn Morrow, the new prosecutor. Thank you for coming. The president of the Springfield Local Board of Education, Karen Datillo. And I don't know if I missed anyone else, but a very special person to me, John, is Carol, what's her last name? Yoho? Carol Yoho, Carol Landis. She's the reason we have the fire station 21. Carol and George bought the property when the trustees couldn't, and sold it to the trustees basically at cost, because we had a committee together to build that fire department, that fire station. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's one of the finest fire stations, I think, in the state. Very good, very nice station. Matt, our chief, is back there. He was our chief for 20-some years, and he was the brains, kind of the leading force behind the station. And we took response times, Connor, we took response times from maybe 20 minutes down to 2 minutes in the state because of these group of people. And I want to thank every one of you for that. All right, now we'll start down the agenda. We'll make the first motion, a motion to accept the fire chief interviews committee's recommendation to promote Michael Wright to the position of part-time fire chief effective March 1st, 2025.
I'll second that.
Trustee Ware. Abstain. Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary.
Yes.
Motion to offer part-time employment contract for the fire chief position effective March 1, 2025.
I'll second that.
Trustee Ware. Abstain. Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary.
Yes.
Motion to offer a part-time employment contract to Joel Wary for the assistant fire chief position effective March 1, 2025.
I'll second that.
Trustee Ware. Abstain. Trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary.
Yes.
All right, at this time, we're going to swear in the new fire chief. And we'll take a few minutes. We have cookies and coffee. And again, thank you all for coming here. We have a lot more to do. You're welcome, but we'll get a chance to meet the chief and the kids, the family, and go from there. But we'll swear Mike right in right now. I, Michael Wright,
I, Michael Wright,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of America,
and the laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the state of Ohio,
of the state of Ohio,
and will discharge the duties of the office
and will discharge the duties of the office
of fire chief
of fire chief
to which I have been appointed.
to which I have been appointed.
To the best of my ability,
To the best of my ability,
I further swear
I further swear
that I will uphold
that I will uphold
the highest standards
the highest standards
in the protection of life,
in the protection of life,
property,
property,
and the environment
and the environment,
as set by the Springfield Township
as set by the Springfield Township
Fire and EMS Department.
Fire and EMS Department.
We'll get some more photos here.
I got it.
John, you want to get over there? Can we get the trustees?
Yeah, hang on.
Thank you, sir.
You want to get in there?
Well,
You want to do all three?
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be instructions.
Lynn, would you mind? Get a picture of Lynn and that's it. Too bad, she said.
Very nice to meet you, Cornwall.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll wait for, Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. This is for Joel. Son, this is for Joel. Who will swear everything again?
Yeah.
Assistant? I, Joel Larry,
I, Joel Waring,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of America,
and the laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
and will discharge the duties
and will discharge the duties
of Assistant of the Office of Assistant Fire Chief,
of the office of Assistant Fire Chief,
to which I've been appointed,
to which I have been appointed,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will uphold
that I will uphold
the highest standards
the highest standards
in the protection of life,
in the protection of life,
property,
property,
and the environment
and the environment
as set by the Springfield Township Fire and EMS Department.
as set by the Springfield Township Fire and EMS Department.
Yeah, we gotta get photos of, let's get, let's go. Len, would you mind?
What if I said yes?
I feel like I'm gonna get prosecuted.
Thank you. That's right. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I think there's lots of the same.
Thank you.
You got a prettier back than him.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, there's
Yeah.
husband and wife, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same ranks.
Yeah, so.
Thank you.
So do I. Same. Do I have to read it twice or what?
So you can wear your both, you can do I statement, or you can do I statement.
Okay. So where are they?
They're in the back of the blue shirts.
Listen, I'm gonna do a little bit this way. Raise your right hand. Say, I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio, and will discharge the duties of the office of, just do that, discharge the duties of the office of firefighter, advanced emergency medical technician, to which I have been appointed, to the best of my ability. I further swear that I will uphold the highest standards in protection of life, property, and the environment as set by the Springfield Township Fire and EMS Department.
Doesn't hurt that.
Very good.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay up there.
Thank you.
Nice. Big deal.
We're squeezing.
That's good. Stay there, sir.
Yeah, we're gonna do all fire people pictures up there.
We're gonna
squeeze.
Get squeezed in there. Come on, everybody.
You want the tag?
I don't, I think the fire chief has time.
Hold out.
You gotta sneak in just a little. All right, good. Thanks, sir. Hey, lady.
Please, let's take some time, have some pastries, have some coffee, have water.
So we're gonna introduce yourself there. Okay, we're gonna hold the meeting for a few minutes so that anybody that wants to go can go. Anybody that wants to stay, you're more than welcome to.
Take some time and meet the.
And cookies for you, water and cookies, please.
Some time to do that.
Sorry about that.
Sure.
What's that? Oh, yeah. I'm a lot of American.
I'll be keeping track of them all right.
Oh, he can't. John, you do it.
Are you guys out? You don't want to be
I know you can play that. I hope so.
Go ahead, Ethan.
A couple more minutes and I think we can get it.
Well, that. This isn't even a current one on my one. He's even.
Mallory.
I'm doing good, Jeff. And you?
Yeah.
Mallory, how many cookies have you had? How many cookies have you had? They need another one.
Yeah, and then we're gonna sell it over at, Dawn's.
Closed tonight. You don't hear me from me in 1 week?
It's okay.
I didn't hear that.
Find out. If it's just like, by
How you doing? How you doing, buddy?
Okay, then I guess
One down, two down, three. We're all gone. Makes it difficult when you go to balance. You already forgot.
Yeah.
That's the reason. Sometimes they use that thing for the and you know, with the levels, it's easier to hear. With the levels, it's easier to hear.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll see you guys later.
All right, see you. Thanks. Thanks. Never heard of it.
How often do you Maybe.
All right, everybody, we're gonna get this meeting back on track here. We appreciate you visiting and mingling. Yeah. If you're leaving, take a cookie. If you're sticking around, take a cookie. Yeah. They don't allow me to have them. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Everybody's leaving us. Everybody, the excitement's over. Grab a cookie going out the door.
See you, Don.
We'll see you guys later. Thanks. Congratulations. See you later. I don't need to stay. The honors handle it. Yep. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Joel. Take a cookie. Take some more.
She's got a plate.
Because he said five doesn't leave.
All right, we're gonna get started. Get in your seats, come on, they boot you. They boot you out of the seats.
Well, this is a whole different demographic here.
Yeah.
That's why I don't hope we can cool down some. All right, we're gonna go back into the motions. Motion to approve the minutes from the previous closing of the books. Meeting held December 30th of 2024.
I'll second that.
Trustee Wary,
Yes?
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes of the previous special meeting held on December 30th, 2024 to discuss the contract and hiring of interim fire chief.
I'll second that.
Trustee Wary,
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes. Motion to approve the minutes on the reorganization meeting held on January 2nd, 2025.
I'll second that.
Trustee Wary,
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes of the budget meeting held January 15th, 2025.
I'll second that.
Trustee Wary,
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes for the previous regular meeting held January 22nd, 2025.
I'll second that.
Trustee Wary,
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes of the previous budget meeting held on why am I doing all the budget meeting? February 12th, 2025, to draft the permanent appropriations budget for 25.
I'll second that.
Trustee Wary,
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes. Motion to approve the minutes of the previous special meeting held on February 13th, 2025 to discuss the fire chief contract and personnel.
I'll second that.
Trustee Wary,
Abstain.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes of the previous special held meeting on February 24th, 2025 to discuss the budget. No, I mean fire personnel.
I'll second.
I get stuck.
Trustee Ware,
Stay.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Motion to approve the January fiscal reports.
I'll
Or
second.
financial, sorry.
Yeah, I'll second that.
trustee Ware,
Yes.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Correspondence. We got a couple things. We have received a letter that came in the mail from the Western Reserve Joint Fire District. This was pertaining to the Board of Trustees of Western Reserve Joint Fire District anonymously voted to waive any fees for Springfield Township might owe the district for ALS services provided to the EMS mutual aid agreement. The board and the district officers both noted that the relationship between Springfield Township has been exceptionally positive. We appreciate the fact that mutual aid has been provided to the district in a professional and timely basis. We look forward to continuing this relationship in the 2025 year. The other correspondence it's the annual application for operating a commercial wastewater system that is over at 13775 Woodworth Road, the Station 23. I need to fill it out and sign it. It's just for the permit to run that. And then we have a addendum to the client service agreement. This is for the Medicount agreement. This went to the prosecutor's office and went back and forth for quite some time, And they finally gave us an agreement that everybody's Medicount's comfortable with, and the prosecuting's office. This is all done through the prosecuting's office. So we have this, and it's quite lengthy, but it's the Medicount Management Incorporated. So there's, I don't know, can you explain a little bit further without me reading this whole thing?
No, so it's a program that we're going to be getting involved with as we move forward. It has to take advantage of new state funding with respect to Medicaid patients. This will allow us to basically increase our revenues from these particular calls in very short.
So that service agreement will be signed, and then we also have another, we have the lawsuit of Anthony Nucci versus State Farm Mutual Aid Automotive Insurance Company, Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. We were named in a lawsuit of a accident up on the turnpike. This also went through the prosecutor's office, and it claims the claims in the department of this Anthony Nucci. He was billed through Springfield Township for ambulance services rendered. And after the fact of not being cited, it was not his fault. It was another driver's fault. The other driver's insurance wasn't covering it. He was billed. The total bill was $1,238 even. So he sued everybody under the sun, and we, with the legal counsel, Karen Gaglione, we are going to forego the billing on it because the lawsuit would cost us more than what we would lose here. So she has sent over a settlement agreement with mutual release of all claims. So we'll be signing that to not pursue a lawsuit or legalities through that. All right, that's all I have. Anything else? Josh? None?
No, I really don't, other than, we'll talk a little bit about, at some point about, we were in Columbus at the convention, maybe next meeting. And also, our good meeting today, but maybe we can discuss some of that next month.
You guys don't have anything else? We're doing the fire department?
You guys have a report in front of you, total of 106 incidents, 2 of them were fire related, 97 medical calls, and then 15 miscellaneous. We provided 13 mutual aids and we received 8, it's a good ratio. And an average response time, now this is a global one, don't get too hyper-focused on it, of 7 minutes and 30 seconds from the time of 911 call to the time of arrival on scene. That's still a very good time. If you really measure it from out the door, it's more like 2 to 3 minutes. That's a good time. We discussed last month the concept of overlapping calls, and I wanted to trend that for you. There is a abnormality on there, I think, the statistical error, and that's September, because you'll see 81%, whereas everything else is in that lower 30 and upper 20 percentile. Those numbers are good. It's just a number we want to keep an eye on. So for January, we had a 35% overlapping calls. And if you remember, the definition of that is more than one call occurring at the same time. So that's the number we want to pay attention to, especially as we trend it out. December was 26, January was 35%. In January, we had 2 pay periods, paying a total of 1,700 hours and only 1.5 hours of overtime. As far as stations, Bogan Sons took care of the roof issue at 21 at no cost to the township. They came out, fixed it. Vehicles, our F-250 will be going for emergency lighting soon. I believe they're working on a police car right now. And then once that's complete, we'll be coming to you for upgrades to car 20 for a slide out storage tray. And then operationally, some of the big moving parts that I'll still be involved with after I leave this position will be the switch to Mark's radios, which will be a true countywide switch over, including law enforcement also. That's one of the projects I'm going to be championing here as we move into the next year and a half. That's you do have a list of motions to approve. These are different policies that we need to have in place to accept the AFG funds, but I can discuss that once it comes up.
I got it. So we'll see that when we do the motions. Let's see what I think this section is new. Okay, I think this section.
Anything further? Anything else?
That's it for me.
Anything from you guys?
No.
Nothing. Okay. All right, please.
Right, I have January's analysis. Felony arrest 1, misdemeanor arrest 3, minor misdemeanor citations 2, 2 OVIs, 2 non-moving traffic citations, 8 moving traffic citations, 33 verbal warnings, 51 enforcement services, 4 crash reports, 28 incident reports, 122 non-incident reports. Total service calls 154, regular hours 1523, overtime hours 96, total duty hours 1619, fuel usage 966. And we had 6.5 hours OVI and 4 hours drug task force overtime. That's what that accounted for. We got car 3 on the road, which is the truck. On the motion, we have the bill for the outfitting. Also on the bill, 29 is up there for the K9 car. I went out and checked it today. It's coming along great, looks really nice. So he should be done with that. We gotta drop off 22 to him Friday, and he should be done with that sometime next week with the K9 car. So I got a quick question. The parts that were taken out of 29, we're retaining those parts, correct me if I'm wrong,
for the new car that's coming, they will be able to work in that car.
Correct. I went over with it, today with him. I told him, give me a list of what we need for the new car and what we have, so we could figure out what we have to order, which really isn't too much, because most of the items for the canine car are totally different. You know, the door covers, the cage in the back, so the rear seat, I think the whole cage, and and I told him, even the gun racks, you know, new, so we could utilize all this stuff.
All the old stuff that came
Correct.
out of 29
Correct.
in our new car that is soon to be here.
Yeah, they don't have it.
I don't want to jinx us.
Yeah,
Soon to be.
I don't either. We don't have a date, but you know, when we picked up the truck, it said 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
But Doug checked on it and made sure that the 2025 Explorer is the exact same size as what we're thinking on.
That's great.
So, yeah, so we'll have a savings there.
Perfect.
And then we have the cog bill, of course, that's on the agenda. And then we had to get brakes and tires put on R1. So that's on the agenda also.
And just a quick update for our dog. Any updates? Jeremy?
No, he's doing fantastic. He's been going to the trainings, just trying to get through this car. Oh,
Right.
so, you know, and that's something, I guess we'll need to talk about, what you guys want to do with that car.
It's your new Chiefs car.
No. I'm not driving.
Come on, dude.
No, I'll let you guys drive that. But it might be a good car for Dave.
We'll pull them over.
Yeah, we can put a hitch on it.
Okay.
We're in.
You can put your gas cans where the dog used to be. But yeah, whatever,
Okay.
you know, it's something,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna have to strip it out with the stuff in there. So,
Right. Yeah, we'll look into that and figure that out.
yeah, so, you know, if it's something that we just wanna trade in,
Maybe. Very
when the
possible.
time comes with
Yeah.
that, I mean, it's just.
I don't see us utilizing it for
No.
anything.
No.
Yeah.
Unless, I know they're looking for a car for somebody to drive.
I just pointed it out to them.
It's Connor's new car. Is that what you're saying?
They can get the gun.
Fade away behind.
So,
Domination.
but, you know, that's something we'll need to discuss.
Okay.
I don't know how soon, I could ask, Derek up at Montrose, how soon he needs to know on that, and we can go from there.
Be nice to know what he would give us for it.
Yeah,
What's the trading value of it?
I'll put it in great shape.
It's in great shape.
Probably, right?
It's just the smell.
You also have to remind him that we just bought a couple vehicles off.
I do have, I think I told you at the budget meeting, I wanna, send me and Mike to the Chiefs Conference here coming up in April. We'll put that on the next agenda and, get that all approved. But I sent in all our confirmations so we can get down there and go through that, so.
Okay.
That's all I have. You got anything for me?
I don't have anything for it.
Are they liking the new vehicle, the new truck?
Yeah.
Room enough for them?
Oh, yeah, the room, I mean, everybody that's stopped and looked at it, I mean, I can't tell you how many phone calls and text messages I've had saying how nice that
Sharp with them.
truck looks, you know, so.
See, my phone calls have been different. Is it, you guys got a new truck? Like they're nervous. And I said, yeah, it might be a van next. Who knows?
I mean,
You never know what's coming at you.
You know, I was driving.
Keep it under
I
control.
drove around
That's for you,
3
Joe.
days.
Keep it under control.
People were, oh, that's a nice car. You know, you can see their heads now. But that's all I have.
Thank you, Rick.
Anything further?
With me.
Road department.
Okay,
February's been very busy with the snow and ice removal. We are getting low on salt. Have about 30 to 40 ton on hand. We have 50 on order. I'm not 100% sure if we're gonna get that, but at this point, I think we can make it through the rest of the season. Truck 14, plow bracket needs welded, repaired, working on that. And I greatly appreciated Dawn Weary and Josh Weary for filling in multiple times, running the plow trucks, helping me out. Glenn is on leave with some health issues, and Larry was out, which I thank Larry very much for doing what he did. But we got in a pinch there, and these two saved the day.
Are you
The
thanking
weekend.
him for going on vacation?
Not having an experienced crew here. So we got it done. It all worked out. Thank you.
You are very welcome, Dave.
The South Range Road box culvert replacement's going out for rebid. It's 20% over the engineered estimate. That'll be happening shortly.
We don't have a date on that, Dave,
No.
when it's going
They
out?
were changing a few things.
Okay.
His structural guys. He just told me that yesterday.
Do we know how that's gonna affect our timeline?
It's still gonna be shooting for, right after school in June.
Okay.
Now, as far as the contractors, them getting their schedule full,
That's what I'm
that's changed a
about.
little
Right.
as time goes on, so.
Well, the biggest thing would be supply. You know, it's gotta be formed.
Right.
It's not just gonna be a standard box, you know. Yep.
Yeah, that box, he shrunk it, it's gonna be 6 foot tall, 8 feet wide. And then I met with Dave on Lakely Road, we shot some elevations, he's about got those prints drawn up. That intersection of Columbiana and Lakely, the mud's coming up, and we're gonna come down like 100 feet, dig down 18, 20 inches and put proper base in it. And then, there's gonna be 4 inches of blacktop on that whole road.
Good.
Right now, that road's flat, so the water's really not shedding, so he's gonna get the crown to it. And we did find Donnie was out there with us, we found drains where they worked on it years ago to get that water out of there, so.
It's got quite a few finger drains in it.
Really?
So it's, yeah. Good. And it's not pumping up there. It's pumping up to the very intersection where it's so, there's no base.
Right.
So we get that right.
That's coming off of Columbiana Road.
Yeah, it's where everything's turning, the tires are turning, and you're pushing and everything like that, so.
He did say he's, engineers, he's down to 180 now.
What's that?
He's down to 180 on
Okay,
that,
good.
approximately.
Dave, did you have to ask Dave Bachelor about Brungard Road speed limit?
Yes, he was just waiting for any police report accidents and
Okay.
sent that to him. And his team's working on it.
Okay. I'd like to have that in place, just so you know, prior to the culvert going in. Because when South Range Road's closed for a short amount of time, Brungard's gonna be the turnoff.
Okay.
So just make sure, and Dave knows it when he was here the last time I brought it up to him.
Yeah.
Like keep rolling that in the back of his ear there. Thank you.
The permit packet, just about complete, to get with Amy when she gets back, and we'll have that finalized. As soon as she has time to, had a few things that need to change, she's gonna type it up. As you see out front, the 2-inch main gas line's complete. We're ready to tie into our buildings. We got the meter brackets on the blue ones tucked out here. Each building needs gas lines plumbed from the meters. And you'll see on the agenda, plumbing Chris Berkey, 4850. And then Dale Miller for 825. That's 5 furnaces that need converted from propane to natural gas. Just got to drill them out, put some regulators on.
I got a call from prosecuting attorney John Hino regarding the turnpike agreement, and he apologized. He did find the original documents that we sent, and he's working on it.
Okay.
Gonna get it to Heather at the turnpike. And
Have you notified Heather that the mistake was on our end and that it is now coming again?
I did not.
Okay, can you do that for me so she knows when it comes to her, we need to get this accomplished if that building's gonna go up in the back?
One thing he did tell me, he said they verbally agreed that everything looks good. We just needed the signature. So
Okay.
I said, well, we're not gonna do anything until we have everything in line.
Right.
So.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay, the Lutheran Cemetery in New Springfield, there's 9 huge maple trees that are rotten, and they've been coming down, and we're worried about the headstones getting damaged. There's very expensive headstones, so I got some pricing on getting them removed. Hudson Tree Service, $21,300. Baird's came in at $11,000, and I'd like to add that to the motion to have them do the job. I had 2 other companies there that was not interested with the stones, and it was just, they didn't want to touch it because of the, so I thought 11,000, Baird's has a huge crane, it's gonna save from any damaging, and they were quite a bit lower. Also, I want to add on for the motion for the 2025 mowing season for the 5 cemeteries we have in the township. Costello Lawn Care, talked to her, she's agreed to mow the cemeteries for the same price as last year. If you guys want to do that, she does a great job.
Dave, will we get a current contract from her signed with this year's date on it? If
I
we-
can ask her for
Yes,
that. Okay.
please. I'd like to have that.
Sure. And the garage door openers are installed on the equipment building. Car 26, keys are in that office with the opener. So, that door and the keypads are out there, and I'll let you guys know about the codes. Door 1, 2, 5, and 6 have a keypad. And door 3 and 4 has the man door with the lock. So that's all I have.
Anything else?
No,
I think we're here, and,
that's the shortest road department we've had yet.
the culvert is
Way
a
to go,
concern, I'm hoping for the best.
No, since we're on the road department, the annual Mahoney County Townships and Engineers Office meeting was today, which is by law, he has to hold. They had state representatives from the Turnpike, State of Ohio, ODOT District 4, is it, Dave?
Yep.
Yeah, we had everybody there. Colton Masters from the sanitary department, or Board of Health, I mean, and the sanitation engineers there. We, who else?
EMA.
EMA was there. Yeah, representatives from OPWC were there, the Eastgate Regional Councils. It was very, very informative. It was very long. It was, almost 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
Long.
Issue 2.
Issue
We talked
2.
about.
Issue 2 is a big thing for the OPWC monies. What did they say? $400 million in the last 10 years of OPWC monies coming to the community here. And you got to understand, that's $400 million from them. Every community's got to put in some type of money. And usually it's close to almost matching on some things. So that's $800 million in 10 years. And In Mahoning County alone, Mahoning and Trumbull County, because it is a split council.
For roads and bridges.
Yeah, roads, bridges. So, issue two's coming on the ballot. They would really like to see it go again. So, and if you've seen the numbers, they were staggering on what was completed and what's been done with that money. And it's not an increase, it's just a renewal, so. Something to think about.
Our county engineer said before our sales tax money that we had from roads, this is where he did 85% of his funding to get roads and bridges repaired, came from this, which is coming up. It's 10 years old, but it's coming up for renewal this year, so.
Don't forget that road to that metering station needs touched up.
They talked also about the sales tax, how much it's helped us. And the roads throughout the county, just unbelievable difference. And, you know, we live here next to Pennsylvania. We have a lot of vehicles coming across, buying gas here, buying things here. Columbiana County, we're right in the corner.
Right.
So we can see it firsthand that other people, other communities are contributing to some of this cost for these roads.
I talked to one of the road guys that was there that does the blacktop, and he had mentioned to me that it's somewhere around 40% is outside funded, meaning 40% of the sales tax money that comes to us is from outside source, outside of residents in Mahoning County. So that's a pretty good deal if you think about it. What we're paying and what outside people are paying for Mahoning County and what our benefit is. He had a map up that showed what they used to do and what they've done since the sales tax was put in. It was incredible. How many roads have been done and how many roads would not have been done without that sales tax money. Just in our township. So I thought that was a neat thing to be able to see the benefit of what it was. And, you know, hopefully we'll get another 5 years out of it at the end of this 5 years. Because if we do, they should almost touch every road and us, every road in our township.
And that would be something the commissioners would have to put on the ballot.
Correct.
And we'd have to vote on. So that's the question is, will they put it on the ballot? And we're hoping that we can influence the commissioners enough to at least put it on the ballot and let the residents vote on it. Because I think they see a result in what the sales tax has done.
I think they'd be blind if they didn't. Looking at the map that he showed today and what it would have been without that sales tax money.
And the money's been used specifically for really construction. No salaries, nothing like that.
No equipment, no salaries, and no buildings.
Right.
Yep. Has to be used for road materials only, whether it be catch basins, you know, bridge work, culvert work, paving. Yep. So. Yep. Anything else, Dave?
That's all I got.
Anything else?
And since you were talking about roads, we're starting on 170 project.
Yeah, 170 project is coming about. The projective for 2024 or 2025 would be Baird Road and Springfield Bridge over the Turnpike, just an overlay.
That's 26.
Is that 26?
Yeah, there was only one project from the Turnpike that was approved for this year, and it was quite substantial.
Yeah. I thought that.
But
okay.
next year.
And then 170 would be a complete removal, 26 if it gets
It'll be
accepted.
closed in Petersburg, the 170 bridge. They're talking about taking it all down, putting it all back up again. So, but an overlay on Beaver, or I'm sorry, on Springfield and Baird.
Doesn't seem that long ago they took the S-bins and they out a little bit, but it's been over 30 years since they did that. But I also talked to Lauren Phillips about we talked about this before, Ray, the turn lane for the school. The state is doing so much work. We want to be like Poland. We want to have a turn lane like Poland and it's out to 170. And we tried it before and they have to do a crash study and so forth, but I got her card and I'm going to be working on that because at least look at it again if we can get a turn lane there. 170 is torn up, the bridge is going to go out in Petersburg. It's unbelievable to me But while we're in the business of that, maybe we can get a turn lane. That's cool. It's not really congested. It's just such a tight area. It's like a small area with a single lane road. A pretty busy intersection there. So.
Yeah, seems like it's more and more.
Anyways, it was a great meeting, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there quite some time, but it was well worth it.
Oh,
Anything else?
No,
Old business.
I've got something.
What do you got?
So we just had our last graduating class from our fire station from Oak Hill. So the last batch of computers went out. So we had 40 computers that we bought with ARPA funds for training as our broadband closes in and gets partially some of the areas with broadband that right now do not have it. We wanted to make sure that those residents and all the residents in Springfield Township that were willing to come and sit through the free class from Oak Hill would receive a refurbished computer, the first 40. So above and beyond which we had, I think the last class had 37 people that sat through the class. Now only 20 of them got computers, but there were still. So how to use the computer, how to be safe on the computer. They did almost everything that was asked of them, Oak Hill, and they charged us $0 for our residents here. So I thought that was a huge deal for them to be able to do. And I was very proud that our township really partook in what was available to them. It took a little while. The first class was 10 people. Then as the word got out and started to travel and people were getting onto our website and looking for why and how, it started to build and build. They are going to continue to utilize our fire station with rental from us for the fire station. Very minimal, but it covers so our township people aren't paying for electricity, gas, cleaning, all of those services for our hall. They'll pay for that and they'll continue the training. There won't be any computers, but there will be training for the people that still want that. So they're going to try that next. That's their next step there. I think that's all I have, Don.
And one thing I want to back up on the county meeting too, is Louis Vega informed us that in 2026, the recycle centers will probably be abolished. They're going to take all the yellow containers out. It's getting too costly. They're looking at a grant, a $2.8 million grant to get actual totes for residents that want to recycle. So you can put your tote out and they'll pick the tote up. But as far as having the remote sites, it's looking like it's going to be abolished in 2026, the way it sounded. I mean, they just said that if it is anything at all, it will be a cardboard only site. And he said that's might be unlikely to invest to do that too.
This is very early. You can tell by the way he was talking, nothing seemed to sound like it was done, set in stone. So I got word from him after the meeting that he said, if you don't have anything else available to you, they weren't going to take away the boxes. So and Donnie's 100% right. During the meeting, it was one thing. Afterwards, when I talked to him, it seemed like it was a little bit different. I think he didn't want to squash anything at this point. So I'm excited to see what happens as it goes further. But it didn't sound very set in stone, like they have made a decision at this point.
That's all I have on that.
Just with that, though, there was some good information on there if you want to go to the Green Team's website.
Yes.
That for the recycle areas and times they have, they're going to be tire recycling and things like that
Yes.
throughout the year. And it's the schedule of the calendars all at that site.
Yeah, they're doing computers and tires
drives throughout the year. You gotta take them up to Bears Den Road though, right? Bears Den, is that where it's at? Yeah.
Bev Road.
Beverly.
Bev Road?
Bev.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you gotta make a schedule of time. You can't just show up with it. You have to
Yeah.
call, schedule time, schedule what you're bringing, whether you're bringing tires or computer things or stuff like that. But, they're gonna have different drives throughout the year. Get on their website and we'll give you a schedule and how to contact them. All right. And I have nothing under new business right now. Do you have anything?
No.
I got just one thing. I'm gonna get back with Elizabeth from Red Cross and try to get that fire back up again.
Okay.
I mean, she went through a whirlwind of fires and mudslides, and
Okay.
so she asked me to be as patient as possible. But now that the world has calmed down a bit, I'm gonna get back with her and try to get back on our fire stations and what we can do about making them a safety center. So
Nothing else?
that's all I've got.
Motion to pay technical protection service or surveillance, $5,250.00 for the outfitting of Ford F-150 Cruiser.
I'll second that.
Trustee Ware,
Yes?
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weir.
Yes.
Motion to pay tactical protection and surveillance, $5,250 for outfitting the K9 Cruiser number 29.
I'll second that.
Trustee Ware,
Yes?
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weir.
Yes. Motion to pay Chris Berkey Plumbing $4,850 for the necessary plumbing of 1-inch track pipe from the meter to the building for natural gas to include the township building, Quonset hut, and equipment garage.
You want to talk about the changeover from?
Yep. So we've talked about this in the past, but we now have natural gas brought up to this point, which consequently, we used our recycling fund money that we get from recycling to pay for part of that project. So that it didn't come out of taxpayer dollars, it came out of stuff that we were receiving back to the township. So now we are going to convert from propane, which is here on site in our 5 furnaces, to natural gas. So our cost of the research, will probably be half to a third of cost over propane, depending on the time of the year when you buy it. Now, when we build our new building back there, there'll be a whole nother, we're gonna lose the Quonset hut, but it only has one piece of equipment in it. So we're gonna be adding back there more pieces of equipment to take care of the larger structure that's back there. So in the long-term look of it, it is 100% going to save us on taxpayer money, natural gas over propane. And you'll see in here, Dale Miller is going to come and modify our furnaces so that it'll go backwards to natural gas from propane, orifices and gas valves and that kind of stuff.
Well, there was a lot of problems with propane this year. With the demand down there and supply.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Trustee Ware,
Yes.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weir.
Yes.
Motion to pay D.E. Miller $825 to convert existing furnaces from LP gas to existing natural gas. 3 in the township building, 1 in the Quonset hut, and 1 in the equipment garage.
I'll second that.
Trustee Ware,
Yes.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weir.
Yes.
Motion to approve and execute the settlement agreement and mutual release of all claims in the case of Anthony Nucci versus State Farm Mutual Automotive Insurance Company
Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas, case number CV-24-100-794, and to sign. I want to document as many as may be necessary to evaluate the settlement with the board deems to be advantageous to the township and hereby approves.
I believe that it's supposed to say, and to sign any documents as may be necessary to effect the settlement.
I was wondering. I just read what's printed.
Thank you. I'll second that.
Trustee Wary,
Yes.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes. Motion to approve and pay invoice from Sebring Tire for new tires and oil change for Squad 23 in the amount of $1,456.84.
I'll second that.
trustee Wary,
Abstain.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Motion to accept the quote from Sefton Corporation to finish needed repairs identified during the annual pump testing in the amount of $2,082.41.
I'll second that.
trustee Wary,
Abstain.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
If I could jump in, we have one Suffin motion that was missed. I can just read this off if you'd be okay with that.
Is that gonna be okay, Graham, at this time, or do you wanna wait till the end of,
It's all right if we just add it at the end.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Motion to accept and approve quote from Best One Tire and Service for new steer tires for engine 23 in the amount of $1,367.12.
I'll second that.
Trustee Wary,
Abstain.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
I didn't mean to jump in there. Motion to accept and approve the quote from Best One Tire and Service for new steer tires on Tower 21 in the amount of $1,472.30.
I'll second that.
trustee Wary,
Abstain.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
A motion to accept the resignation of Caleb Porter and thank him for his service effective March 8th, 2025.
I'll second that.
trustee Wary,
Abstain.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes. Motion to accept quote for 4 McGrath video
Laryngoscopes.
laryngoscopes from Penn Care in the amount of $8,609.90.
I'll second that.
trustee Wary,
Abstain.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Motion to approve fire department records retention policy for federal grants.
I'll second
trustee Wary,
Abstain.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
that. Yes. Motion to approve FEMA purchase and account payable policy.
I'll second.
trustee Wary,
Abstain.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Motion to approve the fire department procurement policy for federal funds.
I'll second that.
trustee Wary,
Abstain.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes. Motion to approve fire department equipment management policy to adhere to the requirements of 2 CFR 200.313 D1 as it applies to the equipment management requirements related to any and all federal grants awarded to Springfield Township Fire Department.
I'll second that.
That was a mouthful.
trustee Wary,
Abstain.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weary,
Yes.
Motion to pay Copper and Ford $851.47 for rear brakes and rotors, oil change, mountain balance tires, and an oxygen sensor.
What's that
What's
for?
that for? Yeah.
Car number 1. I'm sorry, car 2.
I'll second that.
You sure it's not car 3?
No,
Okay.
Trustee,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
trustee Ware,
Yes.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weir,
Yes. Motion to pay ABM Joint Communications District $4,804 for radio fee. And no change.
I'll second that.
it's supposed to be 80 cents.
Is it?
Yes.
is it actually?
4,804.80.
80.
Yeah.
You had to do it.
Trustee Ware,
Yes.
No, that was
Brad's
for the
mad.
whole year.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weir,
Yes.
Yeah, that was for the year 2024 for our.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-02-26-30, requesting county auditor to make advance payments of taxes to Springfield Township.
I'll second that.
trustee Ware,
Yes.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Weir,
Yes.
Motion to approve the 2025 final budget.
I'll second that.
trustee Ware,
Yes.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weir,
Yes.
No, we did commerce.
All right.
The missing one is motion to approve and pay invoice for Suffolk Corporation for diagnostic and cord reel repairs on engine 23 in the amount of $1,903.52.
Wait.
Is that on this?
It would have been on line number 6.
I just want to hand this to Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it's
Oh, you
on,
got it?
on here.
Okay.
Okay, you want me to take that?
Well, yeah,
It should be read by one of us.
Yeah.
okay.
Motion to approve and pay invoice to Suffolk Corporation for diagnostic and cord reel repairs on engine 23 in the amount of $1,903.52.
And I'll second that.
Trustee Ware,
Staying.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weir,
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Hey, Dawn.
Yep.
The two motions I have for the Lutheran Cemetery
Oh, yeah.
and the mowing contract. That's 680, that's per cutting for 5 cemeteries. But the contract will spell that out, I'll get a new one.
And we'll get a
Please.
current date on it.
Yeah, and dated for this year,
Yeah.
please. Okay, I'll take that one.
Okay.
Motion for 2025 mowing for the 5 township cemeteries. Costello's Lawn Care per new contract as 2025. No price increases per last year, 2024, $680.
I'll second that.
Before we make that, I want to have a discussion. You know, we're always asking our people for quotes.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, she didn't change her price, so that's the only reason why we're allowed to do that. We did last year too. That's why we
I
can.
understand that.
Okay.
And we were looking at it, but I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make it clear, you know, we asked or had quotes, you know. And we're just gonna keep rolling the dice, so.
I just think that that's why this happened is because we kind of accepted it last year. So. You're right,
Last year,
you're right.
last year, we were allowed to call. And I think that's what we're about to, but we just want to make it clear, that's
Yeah.
all, you know, so. So he ended the motion. Josh had a motion.
So we're still
Yeah,
good to person, okay.
We're waiting on a second for that.
I second
Yeah,
that.
we have a
Just
second. Trustee Ware,
No.
trustee Williams,
Yes.
trustee Weir,
Yes.
What was the other one?
This is for the Lutheran Cemetery in New Springfield.
The trees.
Motion to hire Baird's Tree Service for the removal of 9 maple trees and stumps at the cost of $11,000.
No change?
No change.
Even, 11,000 even. Fine. I'll second.
Dave, before I do that, are we in control of when they do this project?
Yes, and I'm gonna be talking to Matt and Brian Snyder, and we'd like to have it frozen, because we have to go in Snyder's field, but there is room to go back around. There's 2 in the center that he can get them from the crane, from the access in. The machine to get the rest of them is on tracks, and they're gonna drag it down the field and chip it down in the cemetery property. So there's gonna be some damage, but they're gonna repair it. You know, the drier the better. But like I was talking to Matt, it would be better to have it done before it's planted, weather permitting, if it's dry enough. So unless you want to wait till the fall, it's all up to you guys.
As long as he lets you and Matt and Brian control when it happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
And I don't know how much you talked about it before, but then we got a couple bids on this. This is the lowest, and a couple of guys didn't even want to deal with it.
Two of them.
It's a touchy situation out there.
Yeah, and some of the stumps are gonna be ground down just 8-10 inches because there's stones right there, you know. It's long overdue, but
Dave, when we go back in afterwards, if they're ground down below grade 8 or 10 inches, is the tree service company going to clean all that out, or are we doing that?
we're gonna do that.
Okay.
But the one we had last year that fell, and it fell in between the stones, it was like, oh, it's scary. But they chipped it and they left the chips there and leveled them out, and actually they're fine. We may have to add some topsoil, but, you know, I don't think much needs to be taken out. It can be blended, and we just have to wait and see. But they are not hauling the chips out. But only going down 8 to 10 inches. So it's not gonna be a lot. The biggest issue is the stones getting damaged. These huge trees coming down.
Well, even the field somewhat,
I'm sorry?
even the field somewhat. We gotta make sure it's dry and
Yeah.
it's a touchy situation. All right.
Trustee Ware,
Yes.
trustee Williams.
Yes.
Trustee Weir,
Yes.
Any other things? Not comments from the floor.
I'm Carol Landis, and I just wanted to give you an update on the Veterans Banners program that we're doing. We've received 35 applications and photos back already. This is a sample of what our banner will sort of look like. We sent it to the printer. We're working with Doug Bear. He's helping us, and he's got us set up with a printer. So they're going to print us one banner so that we can show everybody, and it's actually going to be Donald Dice. I don't know how many of you know, Donald was the only Vietnam veteran killed in the Vietnam War from the township and the village. So we thought that he would be the best one to do our first banner with. So we've started fundraising, and everything's going well. We're trying to pull everything together. I've talked with the school. Our goal is to have everything up the 1st of November.
Nice.
And coordinated with the ceremony that the high school does for Veterans Day. I wanted to do a parade, but they didn't think I could get the band out on a Sunday because I knew I couldn't shut the road down on a Tuesday. But, so we're gonna coordinate some sort of dedication at the high school with the Veterans Day program. that they
Can you
do.
keep us informed of when that's gonna happen?
The Veterans Day program is on Veterans Day.
No, I mean, the, however you're gonna do it, memorial, whatever you're gonna do.
Great,
You're gonna do it on Veterans Day at the school?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
we're gonna dedicate.
Time frame, do you know when?
Pardon me?
Time of the day?
I want to say it was like at 9 in the morning.
Okay.
Last, when they did it, I think it was about 9 o'clock when I went last year.
Okay.
So, but I will be publicizing that. And we do have a Facebook page going, and we are working on a website. We should have the website up within a week or so.
Do you, and maybe you've already done this, but have you given Amy,
Yes, I dropped off.
okay, for applications in case
The
somebody,
applications,
Okay, perfect.
the flyers, and envelopes for donations.
thank you.
And the VFW is handling all of the money.
Okay.
So we're running the funds through the VFW. They're taking care of all the paperwork.
Wonderful.
Okay?
So the companies can either put it in the envelope and we'll take it to the VFW? How do they do it?
Right, yeah, there's, the envelopes have the VFW's address on it. And there's also, collection cans at the Tigers Table in New Middletown. Gorby's Foods and, yeah, I couldn't think, yeah, Gorby's Foods. And, so we've got, and I will get more collection cans and stuff out.
Okay.
And definitely a process, that really Brad started and,
Yeah.
fabulous, just fabulous. And,
The response has been fantastic.
the thing with Donald Dice, that's they put an honor to him over in school.
Oh, yeah, it's
And,
beautiful.
for him to be the first for you, so is good, is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I had a chance to go over this quotation on the fire trucks that were fixed. We invested in something over $20,000 to get that all done. Number one, did either one of you gentlemen or any one of the three is there when these estimates were done?
No.
I wasn't.
Why? Don't you think for $20,000 you could represent the taxpayers, that you could show up there and say, look, I don't see no discount here. You or Josh, neither one being businessmen, would pay this kind of money without a discount of some sorts. I don't see one here anywhere. I mean, the taxpayers deserve something on the deal. Because we've got an awful lot of money invested in them equipment, and it's in the millions, and we both know that.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
But nobody wants to take the time to invest whatever time it took to say, look, you want our business? We need to leave a little bit of money on the table. What's wrong with that?
Nothing other than Suffolk's their own corporation, I would say, so they're gonna say what they're gonna say, and that's what it's gonna be. I don't think you're gonna get a discount. Matt, you dealt
I
with
disagree
the apparatus,
with
what do you think?
Well, they built the truck, it's their truck, it's service it, so. I mean,
you. I
Just
disagree
like
with
going
you
to-
on that.
It's going to Caterpillar's gonna, you need
I
to
deal
shop
with
around.
Packard Corporation on a regular basis, and when I,
Well, they need you, because PACCAR stinks. That's all I'm just
it don't
saying.
matter. When I decide I want to put something back in my pocket, we talk about it. Whether I get it or not is another story all the time.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But this here, they're gonna continue doing it, and I see that happening, not only here, every time they walk in somebody's door.
Yeah.
Somebody has to put a stop to it. And I think one of you gentlemen should have been there and overseen this. If it was a pair of tires for the cruiser, that's one thing. But when you're doing this, is this work all done?
Now, a lot of that was actually being worked on this week.
Huh?
A lot of that was being done this week.
Oh, this week? right here or the equipment going out of town?
No, they're doing it at 21.
Huh?
They're doing it at 21.
Oh, down there, they gotta keep their butt warm. With that high dollar cooling system, or heating system, we
Floor
got.
heat.
I don't have an objection to that, but I'd just like to see things go a little bit different for the taxpayers here. They were 20 or 30 bucks, I can understand that too. Not 20,000 and they say. Because I got really involved in the purchase of one piece of equipment here. And $100,000 to this day, nobody can account for. Had nothing to do
What
with
piece of
retail.
equipment would that be?
Don Williams was there and stood right over there. It was a late meeting that night and voted to do it. I remember that. Well, I got to remember like an elephant, I do. You
Yeah,
were standing right there.
right. With this count, was I having coffee? Well, that was an issue. That was.
You
Were the
probably made it
cookies over
strong
there?
like you did this.
Huh?
Were the cookies over there?
No.
I don't think there's.
Didn't even have coffee.
Was there cookies over there?
Reed objected
Chapman,
to
can you
that,
believe that?
was using township water.
Well, we had a committee put together for the tanker. And that was their recommendation. I think that's how it was, Matt. And Chris Wilson was on that committee. And I don't know that there's anybody better at that stuff than him.
I understand that. But you gotta look at the amount of money that's going out for a piece of equipment that is, all that equipment down there is not that old. If it was 20 or 30 years old, I might understand it. But not that way. Our firemen take better care of it than this bill says. This bill's 3 bills right here. Say somebody abused that equipment, and I don't believe that.
But I mean, if I may, Don.
Go ahead.
They're constantly running tests, doing things, and I do think you're right. We have one of the finest fire departments and equipment around, and it's thanks to Matt.
Yes.
He was here during that whole time, the 20 years that he was here. We have good equipment, and we're prepared to do anything. They're prepared to do anything needed. But they run tests on equipment. They're constantly making sure that they're up and running. And I'm a layman. I'm not a fireman. But they're constantly making sure everything, all the equipment is up to date and ready to go. And if they see anything wrong, they have to get it fixed. And so it could be, you were in the trucking business a long time, Don.
Steer tires.
You can't imagine
Pretty
how
bad,
a line can blow or something can happen. And it's
And
brand
very
new.
rarely, I purchased anything that big and said, how much do I get back? Never. You know it, and you know. I'm sorry, what's wrong with the taxpayers?
Larry, you have something to say?
Yeah, I do. When I started, we didn't do pump tests. We didn't do ladders tests. We didn't do any kind of test. So we go to a fire scene, and if I look in the back records, I can tell you how many times we got to the fire scene, and I'm glad we had 3 trucks, because 1 or 2 of them didn't run. Pump would break, lose pressure, something would happen, the primer pump wouldn't work. That doesn't happen today. We take 3 trucks to a fire, all 3 trucks run, all 3 trucks pump. You take a ladder off a truck, you don't have to be afraid to go up in now, because it's been tested. We had one that failed, so they replaced it. Don, the amount of money that it costs to fix these things is astronomical, and I agree it shouldn't be. But as soon as you put fire, EMS, emergency on it, it goes to the ceiling.
They do that with the school buses as well. It has to do with robbing the taxpayers.
They're robbing it, there's nothing we can do about it.
I understand, but I didn't say I object to doing it. I want to know why we can't save some money on the process. And I supported you for fire chief, and you know that.
Yeah.
You knew what things cost as well.
Oh, I know
Because
I deal with it every day, John.
I was just gonna say, he spends it every
I'm
day.
just gonna say that.
I'm gonna go a step further. I think the bill was a little bit more on a couple things Cause this whole process was started while he was the chief. And didn't you go back to them and get it reduced on some things?
They wanted to rewire the engine for 13 grand to put a new electronic system in it. And we shot that down in a heartbeat. And there's a bunch of other stuff that we shot down because they were just outrageous and we can do it cheaper. So we were doing that, Don. It's not that we were blowing money right and left.
Oh, I know that.
We're watching it, and what they did on those bills is expensive parts. When they're doing valves, when they're doing pump work and stuff like that, that stuff's expensive. And we can't control the pricing. That's not us.
Do we get all the old parts back? You know what a load of brass on a truck, 40,000 pounds is worth today? Over 200,000.
We didn't get that much brass out of it.
Yeah, we didn't.
I understand that, but the point is,
If we were gonna get that much brass, it would be the
them
station.
valves with the brass, why don't you check? You guys.
We will take your comment under consideration. We'll discuss it again.
Yeah, I'd
We
like-
have to do something.
It's not much.
And Larry, I want to thank you for not going back and saying like when we fed the horse to get it to the fire. I just saying.
I wanted to, but I didn't have any horses. I figured I'd just go with the easy stuff.
You had to bend a tree limb around the wooden wheel to keep it going.
But anyway,
No,
I just.
we appreciate it.
That last meeting I was here, I said, I gotta go through this, and I did. And that's highway robbery as far as Sutphen's concerned.
And they're all that way.
I
They're
know.
all that way. I mean, they gotta be certified mechanics to touch them. They gotta be this, they gotta be that. You know, the money that gentleman right there and whoever he could muster up with the right mechanics, save this township more than you'd ever think.
You wouldn't mind if I got you a discount back on this, would you?
Well, if you give me a discount back, yeah.
I'm gonna pursue it.
Drive down to Suffolk's facilities down there, go meet the owner and take your dinner and see what you can get back for.
Yeah, that'll be out.
Any other more comments from the floor? Going once, going twice. With no other further business before the board, I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Trustee Ware,
Yes.
Trustee Williams,
Yes.
Trustee Weir,
Yes.
We talked about all here. The only time we go back,
Time we go back there is when you screw up.
yeah. We're talking about you, we gotta go back.
Stuff that needs to be,
Thank you.
I got to do that reservation.
Take some cookies. The police want donuts.
I know, you can't.
That's why he was stumbling over your ring, because he wanted to, I was laughing.